Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengals fan on most of the major platforms. I am joined here, as always, with superfan Devin Circus and Jake Circus of the Jake Circus podcast. And this is week 3 preview of Jungle Talk. Yeah. All right. I got a
Hey.
nod out of Jake. That's as animated. For people listening on the pod, they're not going to be able to see, but an actual nod. So, all right, excellent. So, all right, well. This, before I forget, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It's all we ask. And hit the thumbs up on the YouTube analytics. It really helps us out with the analytics. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. Show by fans, for fans. All we ask is you support the channel. And Jake does some amazing podcasts. Jake, tell them where they can find all your stuff.
Yeah, Jake Circus podcast on Spotify. We do 2 episodes a week on Monday and Wednesdays. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jake Circus. Yeah, another terrible gambling week last week. Awful, one of my worst ever. So
Oh yeah,
hopefully
no, no, no.
not
Somebody threw a comment on you about because
oh
I think you lost all of them, but it's going to be weeks like that. There's going to be weeks you hit them all. So that's why you keep going, man. So
well, they can go back to last year when I was like 70% on the show and
like I said,
retroactively take the picks.
it's we're gonna have those weeks. Listen, I was in a friend of mine called me, says, hey, I'm gonna do 2 survivor cards in the survivor pool. I go, okay, we take Bengals week 1 on one of the cards. I say, okay, we don't want to lose the second card. So we take the Ravens week 2. I mean, literally, there are so many survivor pools relaunching because 3/4 of the pools are gone. I saw
Yeah, this is the
75% on officepools.com, 73% on ESPN. I mean, literally wiped out 3/4 of the pool in the first 2 weeks. So
Yeah, this is the first time in my life I've ever been past week 3, and of course I comment like week 2022 there was like a huge spike or a huge drop in entries the first 2 weeks. It was like a record high. This is number 2 in the last like 15 years, and of course this is the year that I'm into week 3 somehow.
well, I didn't realize I had a Chase's here. Wait, it's this shoulder, this shoulder. I got that's Chase. I've got Chase and Burrow, and that is Chase wanting to be on the show there. And that's actually good because I think Chase is going to have a huge week, but we'll get to that with the good. So we're going to go over the things we feel good about, the things we don't feel good about. And there are some things that, I mean, obviously we're pretty thin at defensive line. I don't feel good about that. This team's going to try to run the ball on us and keep Burrow on the sidelines. We need to get off the field. Brian Robinson, was 29 to 73. He's averaging 6 yards a carry for the first 2 weeks. So that's something to worry about right there.
No, they run the ball very well between Robinson and obviously Daniels, and Eckler comes in for
Mhm.
from the pass game. They got 3 guys that can run the ball or short passes that serve as the run. And we touched on it on Sunday. Daniels is the X factor in this game.
Yeah.
Washington is not a good football team. Their defense is terrible. I just looked up their defensive stats. They're 20th across the board or worse in everything. But Jaden Daniels an X factor, and that's why they drafted him third overall. Third overall because no, so he was second because he could single-handedly win games for him.
Yeah. He's actually completing 70% of his passes. I mean,
Well, he's throwing the ball to the line of scrimmage. He's
right,
barely throwing it past the line of scrimmage.
but of all the rookie quarterbacks, he's looked the best so far. There's no question after 2 weeks. It's just in terms of numbers and his command of the field. He's running the ball well. I think he's got
He's
60.
running for his life.
Yeah.
Hang on. Before you're pumping him up as the best looking rookie, do you know who leads all rookie quarterbacks in touchdown passes?
No,
I'll give you a hint. Drake May and JJ McCarthy are tied for the lead.
Drake.
And us, all of us are tied for the lead too.
But 3 of us are tied for the
Oh,
lead.
so nobody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nobody's thrown a touchdown yet.
Right. So, but like I said, he's got the running variable.
He
He's
does.
gritty, and like I said, we're thin at defensive line. So
Yep.
it's definitely something, and they're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to do what New England did. They're going to try to keep Burrow on the sideline, and we need to get off the field. Our defense needs to get off the field. So, but that's pretty much that's everything I've got. Their run D, our run D is a bottom group. So right now, because we're thin, we don't get Miles Murphy back for another couple weeks. We're
Yep.
going to need all the help we can get. How's BJ Hill? I did not check the injury.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I did not
There,
check.
there's no injury report because we're a Monday game, so we'll get the first reports today,
Right.
this afternoon. But it looks like I think BJ and Rankin's both gonna be fine,
Okay.
which is
That's
good.
good.
Yeah, no, we absolutely need him. So it's there's no question. So so that's all I had on the bad. Did you guys have any more bad that you wanted to bring up? Anything?
I mean, no, this not bad. I mean, I still think, you know, three players on the offensive line have been terrible.
I was just
Volson,
gonna ask about what your take on that, Jake Vol, because they've from the naked eye, it looks like they're doing their job, but when you look at the like Volston had a horrible score last week in run blocking. His run blocking is dreadful. Can you go a little deeper into that? What do you got?
well, the run blocking overall has been dreadful for everybody. The pass blocking's good. I mean, they're getting the
Just
ball out
double
really
it.
quick, but like still Brown and Volson look like liabilities there in that respect. Um, but pass blocking overall from a team perspective has been pretty solid, but the run blocking is worse than it was last year. Like I don't understand what I mean, they're playing more 12 personnel, two tight ends out there, so naturally the run game is going to look a little bit better. I think that some of the advanced metrics look decent. Sixth in run EPA, you know, third in success rate. So down to down, they're fine, but we got to get some explosives in there every now and then.
Yeah. So, well, let's go on to Devin pointed out on the last show, one of the last shows, that this is setting up just like the last year. I mean, lose our first two, and then we're at home for a Monday night game in a game we should win. Now, last year's game, it was 19-16 against the Rams, so we hardly crushed them. It was 6-6 at half. I went back and looked at and I think there was a jug TD at the end, that made it look closer in the second half, but still, we didn't exactly go out there and enforce our will on the Rams. This week, I think we need to do something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean the Rams ended up turning out to be a playoff team, and
So
really got hot down the stretch. Um, but no, this Commanders team is not going to do that. This is a really bad football team. This team is arguably worse than the Patriots, I would say.
Yeah.
They just have the rookie quarterback starting, so they have a little bit more week to week upside. But this is a terrible team. It's a rookie head coach. Um, a defense that, yeah, is, I mean, 20th in most metrics is nice. They're last in EPA and last in explosiveness. Like, this is a great matchup for the Bengals offense to get right. Um, they're I think they're a little injured too, coming off of last week. So yeah, this should be a big win. The line's about 8. That's about right.
7.5. That's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
look, Danny Dimes threw for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks against this defense. Burrow should
Yeah,
pick apart.
Well, yeah.
and
Look at
Washington
it.
loses that game if the Giants had a kicker. Washington has
Correct.
that game that isn't, probably the Giants win by 4 or 5 if they have a kicker.
Right. They've allowed 7 touchdowns. 6 of them have been in the air. And have faced some good receivers. They played Tampa Bay week 1, so they faced Godwin and Evans. But when they faced the Giants, Malik Neighbors was really the only person they needed to cover, and he pulled down 10 catches. So
From
combined,
like a million
target.
targets, yeah.
yeah, those 3 receivers were 23 for 271 in the 2 games. So I'm looking for Jamar to have a big game. I really think he had his little tantrum last week. He kind of took it. I mean, we all saw it. There wasn't really a penalty there. So, and there was no reason for him to do what he did. And he said it on our last show, is that, if you're number one, you need to act like if you want the big contract, you can't have tantrums like that. So I think he comes out this week and, does his talking on the field. This is the week to do it. So
Yeah,
we have a lot more around Chase than the Giants had around Neighbors.
there's some more optimism that team might come back this week, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I
Who?
Yeah,
right.
some guy named T. Higgins. I don't know. Some guy would pay 20 some odd million dollars for.
Isn't he on the Patriots? Oh no, that's next year.
Yeah. So, but no, it's like I said, we got a lot more around him. I'm looking for Burrow to use the tight ends more. we always said just we signed Gesicki, we said I know he's a tight end, but he's going to be filling the Tyler Boyd spot. Yeah. So I really think that and All's really emerged with All's performance. I don't think we see much of Tanner Hudson going forward.
You shouldn't. Hudson should be the 4.
Yeah.
Hudson should really not see the field at all. I mean, he has, and he's only been on the field for nine passes compared to Gesicki's 41, Samples 34, and Eric's 24. So they got some tight ends out there. Really like what I saw, kind of forcing some tough matchups with the Chiefs DBs, with the tight ends. Yes, or on Sunday. Guess that Gesicki drop was just super unfortunate, very untimely drop. But other than that, he's been very solid. And Eric All, and just 18 receiving snaps, 4 catches on 4 targets, averaging just under 10 a catch. So I want to see more of him. I think he's going to be really good in the blocking game. Can really because when he's out there, you expect the Bengals to run the ball, but if he's a threat in the passing game, it just adds to the mysteriousness of your offense.
Yeah.
There was a clip, I think I sent it to you, Jake. I forgot what play it is, but it was a key play, and All was matched up one-on-one against Karlaftis, and All just absolutely dominated him. It was a very cool, it might have been the All 22 zoomed in, but it was from above, and All just absolutely dominated a top pass rusher.
In pass protection.
Yeah.
That's that wasn't like a tight end chipping, and that was a true pass set rep against what should be an all-pro pass rusher. Yes, he was all over him.
So another thing I'd like to see is I want more Chase Brown. I mean, why are we giving Zach Moss so many more touches? I mean, I could live with 50-50 for right now, but I think Chase Brown's our future. I don't mind Moss, coming in and spelling between the tackles, but I mean, last week he had 31 yards on 4 carries, and Moss didn't do much better, and I think he had a dozen carries. So I really would like to see more Chase Brown.
Yeah, Moss has outsnapped him tons. I mean, 21 attempts to 7. Doesn't really seem right.
Yeah, I know he had 4
I agree.
Yeah, I know Brown had 4 carries last week. That means he only had 3 touches in the week 1. So
yeah, definitely been out carried a lot. My assumption would be Moss is the guy, and they want to use him to wear down the D line because he's the big, between the tackles guy. I don't know. But look, what we've seen of Brown. Brown had a couple of really nice, Mark, as you like to call it, the explosive plays.
Yeah, he's got that burst.
He had a couple of them last week.
Moss kind of reminds me of Cedric Benson. You remember? Benson could break through the first wave. He wasn't headed to the goal line.
What about the law firm, Ben Jarvis?
Yeah. Well, there were defensive linemen that could chase down Cedric Benson. So it wasn't, but he would get the yards. He had a lot of 100-yard games. He was very productive for us. But, and once he got past the first line, you didn't think he was making the end zone, where Brown has that burst. So exciting. I just, if you're trying to hit home run, explosive plays, Brown's has the higher ceiling, I think. So this is my feeling. Something I'd like to see. This offense definitely needs a spark. It definitely needs to get on track. And this is really the week to do it. I mean, Monday night, Burrow's coming off this. It's a disappointing loss, but he looked like Burrow again. There was no question. It put down all the talk about is Burrow himself with the wrist and all. That was all done after Kansas City. Because that looked like good old Joe. So
absolutely, God forbid we get Jamar to break out, and that other guy you mentioned might be playing. Look, let's go win a game 40-6. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, listen, there was nothing I would like more than to have our guys with baseball caps on, Burrow with a baseball cap and a clipboard and iPad. Back in the old days, it would be a clipboard. Now it would be a tablet. But still, there's nothing I'd like to see more because we're up 4 touchdowns. And you just start, get Browning, some snaps, and this is the week to do it. And maybe ESPN thought that they've got 2 games this week, so they got the Bills game also Monday night. So
just in from Ben Baby, Higgins will practice today.
Okay,
so
good.
It's very good news.
Yep. Excellent. So,
So done. So
yeah.
done.
So, and the last thing I had here was, we need to see the same kind of pressure from our defense that we got on Mahomes. We need to see it. This is a lesser line. I know that he's athletic and everything, but we need to see Hendrickson and bringing that heat. So,
Well, but it's got to be a little different because if we over pursue from the outside, he's gone up the middle. It's got to be almost the defense that I don't know that we've ever really done it really well, but the defense that we play against Lamar, where
right.
if you pursue too much from the outside, he's gone up the middle, and then you need the linebacker. Jake's better at this than me, but if we over pursue Daniels, it from the outside, it could be a long day the wrong way.
Right. So, well, perhaps our experience with Lamar twice a year
Yeah.
will have us. This isn't a surprise dealing with quarterbacks like this. So, all right. Well, you guys want to do your predictions? All right. First of all, anything else you want to throw out there?
Jake, what's a game plan with a quarterback like Daniels? How similar to a game plan against the Ravens is it?
Jordan Battle. It's a Jordan Battle game. Jordan Battle needs to come down. I would not be surprised if they have Hubbard as the spy or have Hubbard monitor him because they do that with Mahomes and Lamar and Allen. But I think that you got to unleash Battle a little bit because he can do that. He can play downhill, but he's only played one snap this year, so I don't know if that's the plan.
No.
I was just gonna say that's a really interesting one because he was good last year. I mean, gosh, I remember in the preseason we loved him. We thought he was going to get regular time. The free agent that they signed last year was awful, and he got some good time. And all of a sudden, he can't get on the field this year, and he wasn't even on the field when we had 7 DBs on the field the last play of the game, and Battle was not even on the field for that play. He's got pictures. He's got pictures of somebody, or there's pictures of him out there that shouldn't be or something. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I was wondering that too after we did our show. I was like, why was it Battle in there instead of the rookie?
Yeah, second
And
round.
This guy was
third. No, he was
third. Third. I mean, he was fantastic last year.
Right.
He did everything. I don't. He played in the slot. He played in the free safety. He played in the box.
Legitimately, he's been on the field for one play this year.
Yeah,
yes,
no
he has
tackles.
one snap.
No tackles, no assists. I mean,
he has one snap.
That doesn't.
I don't understand.
Sense. I don't understand, and it's not a health issue.
He has one snap to Dejuan Anthony's 8, and Dejuan Anthony was on for the most important play of the field of the season. And committed a penalty.
Well,
Anthony has more penalties than Battles had plays.
Yes, exactly. That's something's going on behind the scenes. So I don't know what it is, but all right. So you want to do predictions first, or Jake? You want to do your pick, or what do you want to do?
We can do predictions.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
It's a must win. I don't think there's, you got to overthink this. I think the Bengals improved last week. They got to come out here in front of what should be an awesome crowd and just take care of business. 28-17 Bengals win.
That's actually, I had 31-17, and I figured it would be 31-10, and the extra touchdown was just a junk one at the end. I figured we had this game in hand, fourth quarter. Burrow's got a baseball cap on. It's 31-10, and then we gave up a junk TD, and that's it. So I was close, and we're thinking along the same lines, 31-17. Devin, what do you got?
As am I. I had, before we even started the show, I had 31-13, late in the third, early fourth. Washington gets one more, 31-20.
Along the same line. So awesome. We don't talk about these beforehand, so it's a tie. I have no idea what anybody's going to say. This is an organic show. I want the spontaneity. I want people to, look at our last show with Heath going on his little tirade about not having him ready. Don't worry. He's been named, what did somebody call him? Not Debbie Downer, but they called him, Nervous Nelly or something. I don't know. What's a couple ones? But he's definitely the Chicken
All
Little.
of a sudden, all I know is we're talking about the Bengals had a good game plan. They were ready to play. Zach Taylor did a good job with the play calling, and Heath said that he's not amongst the elite in the all-time, and Bill Belichick's better than him, I think.
Like I said, that's just evidence. We don't script any of this. This is a show. I hit record, we do this, and then I upload it, and it's organic and natural. We don't edit. We don't do any of that. So if we screw up, it goes up that way. So, all right, we're all thinking the same way on this. So, you got any picks for us? I actually like the over this week in this game with the Bengals. I think that
What is it?
it's a 47.
6.5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6.5, 47. If you tease both, you have the Bengals even and you have 40. So, and I think you and I both had them at 31, just the Bengals. So that's but Jake, what do you got? Anything on the college front? What do you like this week?
Yeah. Let's pull it up. I will do. People are gonna get mad at me for this one, but Oklahoma plus 7.5, and then East Carolina plus 7.5. Or I guess it's down to 6 now, so I won't give that out. Virginia -3, and Oklahoma plus 7.5.
There you go. There you go. You've got it. So, Jake, remind them where they can find all your stuff.
Jake Circus Pod, Spotify, NFL show on Monday morning, college football show on Wednesday. We're gonna try to bring the gambling show back for Fridays in the next couple of weeks. I've got a guest coming on next week to go over some college stuff. But yeah, Twitter at Jake Circus. And yeah, let's have a good week.
Yeah. And like I said, just support the channel. It's by fans, for fans. That's all we ask. We don't try to sell you stuff. I don't even do the commercial midway through because that drives me nuts. I can't tell you how many times I leave shows when that commercial comes up midway. So, I don't even do that to you guys. So we just support the channel and definitely hit the thumbs up. It helps us out with the analytics. So with that,
and if I could just say one more thing, just
Sure.
because we haven't talked about it, and DJ Turner also has only played 10 snaps this year.
yeah, and he had the almost pick that was negated by a penalty, but he looked good. He was right there in the underneath coverage. I don't understand. Those are two things I don't understand if they got in Lou's doghouse. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean their coverage grade has been very good this year, so they've graded out well. It's not like they need those players, but they're deep. I'm very curious as to why, only 5 defensive backs are
Who's getting all
playing.
the snaps at corner?
Dax.
CTB, Hilton, Dax, and who else?
That's it.
Just those three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
Don't you
uses
need
dime
fourth
anymore.
what about when you're nickel or
Nickel's 3.
is it dime then?
Dime is 4, but nobody uses dime anymore.
No.
So, all right, we will be back right after the Monday night game. I know it'll be late on the East Coast. We'll do our recap. And with that, I'm going to say, hoo day, everybody.
Who dey?
Hoo day. Have a good week.